Okay, so I decided to go ahead and make this recording because I had to duck one of my gang stalkers, and I'm just waiting to see if he pops up again. He may or may not pop up again. Now, this guy, he seems like what he's doing is normal, so he's probably not one of them. He's not acting bizarre. He seems like he's getting off of work, so he's not the gang stalker, or he could be the gang stalker. He doesn't. He's not presenting himself as a gang stalker. He's just like seems like he's just getting off of work or something. So he's not the guy you just saw. Is not the guy I'm hiding from. So this is what I do. I mean, I don't hide, but I try to avoid them. Just think about that. In my community, I have to sort of weave, dodge, and do stuff like that because the community is so aggressive and people are out to get me. And for a long time, everybody would say trying to portray me as being paranoid. And just because you're paranoid doesn't mean that people aren't out to get you. Okay, people are out to get you. And if you think about it, if I was a criminal, it would seem like the best way to be a criminal is to do shit that's pretty extreme, because the more extreme it is, the less believable it is. Like if you were a criminal and you wanted to do criminal shit, then you should make it as crazy as you possibly could, because that way if you tell people, then it doesn't seem believable. Like, I don't know, you wouldn't even have to really be smart in order to put these two concepts together. And you're a criminal and crazy extreme shit, put these two things together, and you're like, they complement each other. Like, I was just like, motherfuckers, like, gang stalking is not extreme. It's not extreme. It's like any criminal organization. Like, the criminals are the ones who are saying that it's extreme or insane or something. They're the ones saying that. But if you think about it, there's nothing extreme about it. It's just not even really unusual. Not really. So who says that people can't, get together and bully people? Like, when the fuck did we reach that conclusion? Okay, like, what they're saying is that if people get together, it's completely insane for people to get together and bully people. Or to do this, or to spend a lot of time bullying, or get together and bully. I don't really know what part of this is supposed to be crazy or extreme. I don't know what part of this is supposed to be that way. But generally speaking, only the fucking crazies themselves will be the ones trying to make this big fuss over the stalking or something. The only extreme part of this shit is the fact that so many people are involved in it. That's it. You got all these people involved. I mean, these people are completely miserable assholes, and I don't know. I think that they have something called like a swag switch or whatever. I'm gonna link another video that covers that. I mean, a video from another YouTube channel that covers it. This switch, I think, the guy who covered it said that it's Freemasonry. And what it is a one headlight, and they could cut off one of their headlights, so they only have one headlight, and that's supposedly the all-seeing eye. Like, in the comment section, they'll always put the eye in it, I guess, to say Freemasonry. Freemasonry represents the all-seeing eye. Well, I was like, so does Satanism, really. I mean, Lucifer the Deceiver. Freemasonry is basically like is like Satanism or something. The occult. I think it's based on the occult, and they teach the occult ideas. Okay, like all-seeing, wall-watching, and it actually kind of goes towards, like, I've never read the Book of Satan, but I've been around Satanists. They're out here, and I kind of get like a Satanist vibe from the Masons. But I don't know anything about Masons. I'm not trying to slander their belief system. I don't know anything about them. This is what the guy whose channel I'm going to link you guys to, this is the stuff that he was talking about. And he showed like a bunch of videos of cars with the one headlight. I see them all the time. Freemasonry is huge out here. They have Freemason temples all over this area, like a bunch of them. I pass by a few of them, all the time. Like, I used to pass by a couple, like 2 or 3 of them every day. There's definitely a lot of them out here. Not as many Freemasonry temples as there are churches, But there's a lot of Freemasons out here, a lot of them. So the prevailing theory is that these are Freemasons, and Freemasons teach the occult. From what I understand, they teach the occult. Like they teach some sort of, I think they teach, I don't know, they may not worship any god or worship the devil, but they kind of teach that God doesn't exist, most likely, or I don't really know. I mean, okay, but we got to look at the behavior of the people. We got to look at what they're doing. Yeah, so the guy in the video he covered this, and he said that it was Masons and the all-seeing eye. So I know about the all-seeing eye, or I know about the concept behind it. And biblically, if you believed in the Bible, biblically, like Satan is a tempter, a deceiver, and he's a watcher, and he watches and he tempts people, and his demons do that. So demons, it's like if like in the war between good and evil, it's like the demons watch people learn about try to ascertain their vulnerabilities and then play on their weaknesses. So Satan basically is not the adversary of God, because he's not an equal to God, but in a way he's just like, he is the protagonist, I guess. He's he's just like, he's the opposite of God. He's the opposite. He represents all the things that God doesn't represent. And but I think that his role is to be God and to be worshipped like God. And he wants to have God's power. And I think that, like, God sees all. God sees everything. God sees everything. So he doesn't have God's power, but he can use the people that, he can use people to sort of watch people because he wants to be God. He doesn't have God's power. So that's another take on it. So Freemasonry probably, if they're involved in the occult, then it would make sense for them to really be, watching people and trying to figure out weakness and vulnerability and attacking that. But that, like I said, that's not just Freemasonry. That's Satanism and all these, things that have to do with the occult. They might be in the witchcraft, black magic, or spell casting. They can be into a lot of shit. I don't really know what they're into, but the theory is that they are they're into the occult, and the one headlight represents the all-seeing eye, and that's the theory. And like I said, I don't know anything about Freemasonry, but that's what the guy on his channel was talking about.